So the American Express Platinum is one of the most popular and one of the most premium travel cards that you can get your hands on, but is it really worth it in 2023? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you an in-depth look at the American Express Platinum card so you can determine if it's right for you or not. And instead of just sitting here and listing off the benefits and going down a list of what the card offers you, I'm going to be showing you guys personally how I've used this card for the past year and a half since I've gotten it, as well as my own personal experiences with the card, and that way you can get a real world idea on whether this card can benefit you or not. So starting off with sign-up bonuses for this card, personally when I received the American Express Platinum card about a year and a half ago, the personal sign-up bonus that I got was 100,000 points after spending $6,000 in the first 6 months of account opening. And now for me personally, one of the biggest reasons I actually got this card at the time was because of the sign-up bonus. So at the time when I got the American Express Platinum, I was looking to get more credit card points and earn more credit card points so I could use them for travel. So for me, having a 100,000 point sign-up bonus was definitely a big incentive to actually get this card. Now, currently at the time of filming this video, the most common offer that I've been seeing going around when I look at the American Express website is going to be 80,000 membership reward points after the same $6,000 spending in the first 6 months. But what I would personally recommend doing is if you're looking at getting this card, then go ahead and open 2 different browsing tabs on not only your computer, your laptop, whatever, but also your phone or your tablet, and put one of those tabs on each device into a private searching mode or an incognito mode. And by doing this, a lot of times you can find that higher offer of around 100,000 membership rewards points just simply by searching around a little bit more and trying out different browsers, as well as searching in the private or incognito mode. And 2 other ways that you can actually get that higher sign up offer is, one, you can get a targeted mail-in offer. However, I know that waiting around for a targeted mail offer is not always the best or most convenient route, especially if you're looking to get that card in the near future. Now, the next thing you can do is you can find someone who has a referral link. So a lot of times if you have a friend or family member, find someone to give you a special referral link. And a lot of times with these referral links, you're able to get, again, the higher targeted sign-up bonus. And I would definitely recommend that you look around and do your research when trying to get this card so you can get the best sign-up bonus possible. Now, when it comes to the actual value of these points, I like to personally value my American Express MR points at about 1 cent per point. And that's because personally, I always use my credit card points for travel and booking flights and hotel stays. And when you do this, whether you're booking a flight or a hotel through the American Express travel portal, you'll always get 1 cent per point on that. And so meaning your 100,000 point sign up bonus is going to be worth about $1,000 for travel through the American Express travel portal. And of course, you do also have the option with this card to transfer those points out to a travel partner like an airline or hotel. And by doing this, a lot of times you can see anywhere between 1.5 cents per point and even up to 2 cents per point. So for example, if you use Delta as a transfer partner, you're able to transfer those MR reward points over to Delta, and 1 Amex reward point is equal to about 1.5 Delta Sky Miles. But personally, when it comes to credit card points, I always like to keep the valuation that I put on them on the conservative side of things, so I'm not overestimating how much those credit card points are actually worth. And so that's why I always like to value my MR points at about 1 cent per point to keep things conservative and simplify everything. Now, American Express does actually offer a few other ways that you can use these points as well, and those include things like covering past charges on your bill. You can use them at select online merchants to pay at checkout, and you can use them to redeem for gift cards in either a physical form or a digital form. But personally, this is something that I've never done, and I would highly recommend that you guys don't do it either, just because when you use any one of these methods that we just mentioned, you're only getting on average about 0.5 cent per point for your membership reward points. So that means with your 100,000 point sign up bonus, if you were to use them for any one of these methods, you're only going to be getting about $500 of value out of them. So I would definitely recommend staying away from any of these methods and just use those points for travel. Now, of course, because this card is a premium travel card, it does come with some nice perks and benefits for travel. The first one I want to mention is going to be the airport lounge access. So with the American Express Platinum card, you get access to American Express Express's network of Centurion lounges, Priority Pass lounges, as well as Delta Sky Club lounges. Now, unfortunately, this is a perk or benefit that I haven't gotten to use too much because when I got this card, traveling was still pretty limited with a lot of things still being closed down. And so I did have a lot of travel planned, and one of the main reasons for getting this card was to have that lounge access, but again, sadly, I wasn't able to take advantage of that so much yet. But later this year, when I have my upcoming trips planned and stuff like that, I will definitely be utilizing those airport lounges, and I will make sure to keep you guys updated on my experience with them later in the year as well. Next up, this card does come with your typical things that you would see on a premium travel card. Those are going to be things such as your automatic rental car insurance, your trip cancellation and delay insurance, as well as your baggage insurance. And with this card, you do also get something known as the American Express purchase protection. And the way that that works is that every purchase that you make with this card, up to $10,000 per purchase and up to a total of $50,000 per year, within the first 90 days of that purchase, that item is going to be covered for things like loss, theft, or accidental damage. And for me, this was a benefit that actually came in very useful last year when I had ordered a very expensive laptop, and what had happened was UPS had sent it to the complete wrong address. And so instead of getting on the phone with the carrier, which was UPS, and arguing and going back and forth with them, which if you've ever done it, you know is a complete and total hassle, I just got on the phone with American Express. I explained to them the situation. They asked me a few questions. I answered them, and within about a week, I had that money fully credited back to my account. In my experience, American Express has always been very, very good in handling these types of situations, and their customer support has always been very good to me as well. And lastly, this card will give you things like instant hotel statuses such as Marriott Gold and Hilton Gold status. With this, when you're booking directly with Hilton or Marriott, this means you can get things like automatic room upgrades when available. You can get late checkout, and sometimes you can even get bonus points, or your points can be worth more when you transfer them to one of those partners in your booking hotel stays. Now, lastly, let's talk about how I've actually used this card for the past year and a half and how it's fit into my personal lifestyle. So for the spending category of this card, I honestly only use this card to hit that spend requirement within the first 6 months, and ever since then, it's a card I haven't really touched to actually spend money on. And that's just because with this card, outside of booking flights and hotels with the American Express travel portal, where you'll get 5x points back for every dollar spent, this card is only going to be earning you 1x point back on every dollar spent on everything else. And so for me, if I'm doing something like dining out or getting groceries, I would much rather use the American Express Gold card, where I'm able to get 4x back per dollar spent. And for everything else that's a miscellaneous purchase or a day-to-day purchase, I would much rather use something like the Chase Freedom Unlimited to get 1.5% back, or even the Capital One Venture card, where I can get 2x back. And that's something I would definitely recommend, is never really spend any money on your Platinum card outside of hitting your spend requirement, because you're just not going to be getting great value whatsoever, and you're only going to be earning 1x point per dollar spent back. There's so many credit cards on the market that can give you higher value in this category. So for a second, let's take a look at the annual fee of this card, because this credit card does come in with a very hefty annual fee of $695 per year. Now, while this credit card does come with a very long list of credits and things like that you can use to offset and recoup the annual fee, for this video, I'm just going to be sticking with the credits that I've personally used, as well as the credits that I think are not only the most beneficial, but the credits that most people are going to be able to use and find value in. And so first off is going to be a annual $200 airline credit, and you can use this for things like in-flight purchases. You can use it for seat selection upgrade fees, as well as checked baggage fees. Next up is a $200 hotel credit when you book through either the American Express Hotel Collection, or you book through the American Express Fine Hotels and Resorts Collection. Now, if you were to book through the Hotel Collection, this is where your hotels are going to be a little bit cheaper on a nightly basis. However, you do have to book a minimum of 2 nights to actually get this credit. Now, next up, you have the Fine Resorts and Hotel Collection, and this is going to be where your nightly stays are going to be a little bit higher in price, but there is no minimum stay requirement for this. And last year I was able to pick out one of these hotels where I think the nightly rate was about $400, but because I had that credit, I was only paying $200 a night. And keep in mind, these are very, very nice 4 and 5-star luxurious hotels. Next up, there is a yearly $100 Saks Fifth Avenue credit that you get in the form of $50 every 6 months. For me, this is a credit that I personally do not use. However, I know there's probably a lot of you that can actually find value in that credit and find some way to use it. So that is another $100 credit that you get. You get a monthly $15 Uber credit totaling up to $200 per year that you get to use towards Uber Eats or Uber Rides. That just gets automatically deposited into your Uber account when you link your Platinum card to it. Get a $240 streaming credit that's in the form of $20 per month towards things like Peacock, Hulu, and Disney Plus. So you just have to pay for those subscriptions with your American Express Platinum card. And last up is a $100 TSA pre-check or global entry credit, as well as a $189 clear credit. And what clear is it's just like a expedited security for airports. And so when we add all of these credits up, that comes out to a grand total of $1,229 per year in credits that we're getting with this card. And so for me personally, I have been able to not only completely recoup the annual fee of this card, but I've also been able to get even further value on top of it. Last up, I do want to mention that there is also a $300 Equinox gym membership credit that some of you will probably be able to find value in as well. Again, just for me personally, where I live, there are no Equinox locations near me, so this is a credit that I don't personally use, but I'm sure there's definitely some of you that can find this credit beneficial as well. And so to summarize everything up, if you are someone who travels 3 to 4 times a year and you're looking for a great premium travel card that gives you great benefits and perks, as well as access to airport lounges, as well as some very useful credits that you can use to completely offset and cancel out that annual fee, then I definitely think you can benefit from having the American Express Platinum card in 2023. However, if you are someone who only travels maybe 1 to 2 times a year and you're not going to be able to take full advantage of the credit card, the benefits, and the credits that it offers, then I would definitely recommend that you look into something like the Capital One Venture X card that not only gives you great everyday benefits, but great benefits when it comes to traveling. And this card still gets you into Capital One lounges as well as Priority Pass lounges, all coming in with a much lower annual fee of only $395 per year. And this credit card does also come with 2 very nice travel credits you can use to completely cancel out that annual fee. So that's going to be a much better option for someone who's only traveling 1 to 2 times a year, but still wants a travel card without paying the super hefty annual fee. But I would definitely like to hear from you guys on what you think of the American Express Platinum and if you think it's worth it or not, as well as do you guys have this card or is it a card that you're looking to get a little bit later on in the year? Definitely let me know by leaving a comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, I would definitely appreciate it if you could drop a like down below, as it helps me out tremendously. And if you're interested in more personal finance and credit card content just like this, then consider hitting the subscribe button while you're down there as well so you never miss a new upload. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to tune into my video, and I hope each and every one of you have a fantastic rest of your day.